All right, welcome back to the channel. Max Tornow here, and in this video I want to talk about why you should never ever go on vacation. All right, because all you should do is sacrifice your life and hustle. No, just kidding. Okay, this is a little bit of a clickbaity title, but nonetheless, I see that a lot of people want to build a business, they want to make a name for themselves, then they go on random vacations. And the trigger why I wanted to shoot this video is yesterday I was on a client call, and the client said like, yeah, I'm 2 weeks behind in the program. He's a beginner, and yeah, so far I'm not feeling like I'm progressing enough, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, I haven't seen you in a while. Where the hell have you been? You've not been messaging us or anything like that. And he's like, yeah, well, I was on vacation with my friends. And it took me almost 20 minutes to explain to him that he has to connect the dots between him going on vacation with his buddies and him not getting results. And it absolutely mind-boggled me to see people do that over and over again. And this is not just a one-time occurrence. I see this all the time with someone commenting on his channel or someone messaging me on Instagram. And in my opinion, look, I'm very extreme with this, and I'm not saying you have to be that extreme. I never went on vacations for 4 years. I pushed so hard until I got burnout, and then I could barely get up in the morning. But at the same time, I had made my first million, so this is a very extreme approach. You don't have to approach it in that extreme manner too, but just to kind of show you the rough mindset in the background, it boggles me when people who are now nowhere near making their own 4 to 5 figures a month, being their own boss, yet they go on vacation. What are you going on vacation for? With whom? To do what? To celebrate what? And then, you know, to get back to said client, he's like, oh, I have my friends come over from France and blah, blah, blah. Just, yeah, have you ever heard of the word no? You know how many times I say no? You think this thing is going to get easier once you have a business? Hell, once you have a business, everybody will want to be on a vacation with you. Once you're successful, all you do is say no. So you might as well learn to say no now, right? If you're, and this is, it all comes back to being proactive versus reactive. What are you doing on a daily basis? Is it reactive or is it proactive, right? What most people do, and that's also the reason, one of the reasons why they're broke, is they're constantly reactive. They're waking up in the morning, they're checking their phone, now they're reacting to the comments, to the social media messages they're getting, right? What are they doing? They don't have their phone on flight mode all the time, or at the very least on this, what is it? This is the do not disturb mode, like I have mine. I'm on the do not disturb mode because I don't want to be reactive, right? All the people that are important in my life, they're instructed if there's some emergency, they should call me because the call goes through the do not disturb mode. The rest, do not disturb me. That means I can proactively say, now I'm going to reply to all messages. I go upstairs to the treadmill desk and I reply or whatever, or I'm waiting for the elevator and I start replying to things, so I stay proactive, and so I stay productive. It's exactly the same with the vacation thing. Most people that are nowhere near in life where they want to be, they're very reactive with the vacation. Oh, so-and-so invited me for a vacation, or now I feel like I really have to be on a vacation because blah, blah, blah is so tough. I'm more proactive with the vacation. I say, look, let's reach that milestone, or, you know, it's Christmas. So now that we proactively plan to be on a vacation there, and if I cannot go on a vacation because I have things to do, but I have to be physically at a different spot, I take my laptop with me and I work from there. Or I try to compensate with extra work in the evening if I hang out. You know how many Christmases I spent working because I felt like there's still stuff to be done? There's still steps that I could take that bring me closer to my end goal that I want to get to, having my own freedom business. So it's all a matter not only of proactivity and reactivity, it's also a matter of priorities. If your priority is to hang out with the equally broke buddies, then that's what you're going to get. And if your priority is to build a business, priority is to build a business, and you prioritize that over going on vacation with your buddies, or over feeling comfortable, or over feeling nice, then you're going to build a business. And if your priority is somewhere else, otherwhere, that's not even a word. Your priority is somewhere else, yeah, then that's what you're gonna get. But then don't come back to me or to anybody and complain, or even worse, don't start pointing the finger at somebody else saying it's their fault, where in reality, it's your own fault, right? So we've talked about proactivity, reactivity, we've talked about priority. The other thing that I want to talk about is tolerating. You get what you tolerate. You've heard me talk about this many times before. If you tolerate from your own self such behavior where you can't even work consistently on something for 2-3 months, yeah, and that's what you're gonna get. Some BS, some half-assed attempt on building a business. And that's also, by the way, the difference between someone who makes $3K a month as a coach or consultant or agency and someone that makes $30K a month. Right, I'm not even talking about the 300K yet. This has more something to do with scaling, but the difference between 3K and 30K. And this is something I talked about on Saturday on the lead generation bootcamp that I did with my clients, 10 full hours. It's also why my voice is still sore. I literally did that on my birthday, by the way. I spent 10 full hours on my goddamn 31st birthday with my clients because, again, priorities. I can celebrate my birthday whenever. I don't need, and it was funny because I invited a client of mine. I said, hey, you should come to the lead generation bootcamp because that's your bottleneck. And his birthday is a day after mine. What was the first thing he said? Oh, well, I'm celebrating my birthday then. Oh, I'm celebrating my birthday. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not, and I'm making multiple 7 figures a year, and you're celebrating that, and you're barely scratching the 10K a month mark. Does that ring a bell for you? Can you connect the dots? And it's again about connecting the dots, what I said earlier. Can you connect the dots? Like, maybe that's one of the reasons why Max is making multiple 7 figures. And maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm struggling. Because my priority is to celebrate my little birthday on that day. Hell, celebrate it a day later or a day before or a week later. Who cares? If you have an opportunity like that could bring your business further, much better for you. And I get it, it's called freedom business, right? So ultimately, kind of that's the hook point of what we're doing here, right? So you can travel the world, so you can be free, you can work whenever you want, and so on and so forth. Yeah, but you need sacrifice to get there first, right? It's the same as if I said, like, look, you can get a 6-pack, but right now you're fat, right? Like, oh, you could just have the blah, blah, blah diet, and you can eat burgers and steaks, and you're still going to look good. Yeah, but if you're fat and overweight, at the beginning, you probably have to sacrifice a lot. Again, connecting the dots and understanding that you are getting what you tolerate. And that brings me last but not least to the last concept. By the way, if you haven't done so yet, give me a follow on my Instagram. I'm posting on there literally every day. The guy behind the camera is making Instagram stories right now. We're posting behind the scenes. I'm replying to all DMs. I'm doing live streams. I'm doing Q&As there. Strongly recommend you join me on the Instagram journey, so to speak. And yeah, which brings me to the last point, and that is you have to distinguish between instant gratification versus long-term gratification. This is something I've always been extremely good at, even way back in the days with my very first business. I said, I could chill here now and celebrate my birthday and go on vacation, and that will make me feel very gratified in this very moment. Or I work harder now and build some of the biggest dating advice and relationship advice businesses the world has ever goddamn seen, and that will then make me even more gratified. The only downside is it will make me gratified a couple of years from now. Especially at the beginning when you're in your 20s or even in your 30s, like what else you want to do? What else are you doing? Seriously, what else are you doing that is of that meaning at this stage in your life? You probably don't have kids yet. Okay, I know my audience, not many of you have kids. If you do, that's great. Obviously, give that kid a lot of meaning and spend a lot of time there. But with kids, I would almost even argue like it's even more important for you to build your own business so you can be there for your kids. Thought about that? So again, what else that is important does one really have to do that keeps you from building a business? Oh, but my buddies really want to watch the Avengers movies. Yeah, so how many millionaires are your buddies? How many millionaires do you have in your social circle? None? Well, stop hanging out with them, right? This is really extreme. I'm pissing off so many people, but that's at least what has helped me doing that. And I'm not saying you should stop hanging out with your friends altogether, but cut back on the time and start spending more time with people that are successful, that are where you want to be. Because it's, again, you have to be able to connect the dots, you have to be able to prioritize, you cannot tolerate BS from yourself, and you have to be able to work on long-term gratification, not short-term gratifications. this is, I cannot overemphasize this part enough. And yeah, set yourself a milestone if you want. Hey, when I crack my first 10K month, I go on a vacation somewhere for a week. We have many clients who do that. They're now spending their time in Cyprus or in Rome or somewhere in the States where they just said, I cracked my first 10K month. Now I'm taking my vacation. Guess what? I'm taking my laptop with me so I can take some of that momentum with me. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, as opposed to like, oh, I'm nowhere near anywhere where I want to be, but I went on vacation. Go deserve that vacation. It's the same with the gym. Deserve that meal, right? In the business, it's a little bit more long run. Go deserve that vacation. So ultimately, like I said, this is a quite extreme viewpoint of how I would do things, but ultimately I get to make a video now on this beautiful veranda of this apartment, feeling good and being able to go on these cool rants and get paid for that. And I would have never been able to do that if I went on vacations every time I got invited by my broke friends. By the way, on a side note, I'm getting rid of this place though. Traveling way too much and I'm barely ever here, so we thought we'd shoot a couple videos. So if you want to build your very first business and you're ready to commit to this and you're ready to work hard on that lifestyle and you understand that Max could just make any wild claims like some of these internet gurus out there that sound much better to me and sound much easier to me, but Max is actually being honest and communicates how you have to understand that this is hard work. If you like that idea, then go ahead and check out my website where I'm putting a free consultation call option for you. You can go to the website, you can read through what's on that page. There's a little bit more information for you, and then at the bottom of that page there's a little button. You click that to apply for your free consultation call, and then we can help you get started with your first business. We could tell you what it is that you could be selling. We could tell you what exact steps you need to take at the beginning, even if you've never done that before. So if you think like, I don't know what the first steps are, what are the very first steps? What can I do right now that could help me start my very first business? Exactly that call is for you. Link down in the description below, or a link that appears somewhere here right now. Click on that, have a read, book that free consultation call, then you will be directly patched in with an expert from my team, maybe even myself, and then we'll see how exactly we can help you get started with your very first business. So thank you very much for watching, and talk soon.
I just wanted to post a really quick message as a testimonial to you guys. I've literally just been able to build my freedom business just from the pre-recorded coaching and training that Max has done. I always get really good and prompt feedback from the Facebook group, and for me that is more than enough to get my freedom business up and running. Looking forward to seeing what I can do in the future along with your support as well. So yeah, thank you very much guys.